Welcome. Welcome to the New Ulm Forum. I'm Ruth Ann Webster. I'm the president of the League of Women Voters, and we've got a very exciting guest here today. This is Morgan Harpenau. She is the newly installed executive director of the United Way of the Brown County area. Welcome to New Ulm. Welcome to the new job.
Thank you so much.
Good. Well, I know people, we're going to talk mostly about your work, but why don't you tell us where are you coming from?
So I am coming from Sioux City, Iowa. I grew up in a town northwest of the city, so I'm a Minnesota native. Went to school down in Sioux City. Met my husband, we settled there for a bit, and now I'm coming back to my home state.
Oh, well, that's great. And you and I talked a little bit about how you got to know New Ulm and how you got to know a little bit about the United Way. Can you tell us that story?
Yeah, so immediately after college, I actually worked for a couple years as a producer in news down in Sioux City. And between the differing hours, and it just kind of got to be a lot. So looked for a job elsewhere, and I knew of United Way, but saw that there was an opening, and I immediately jumped on it. Worked at the United Way down there as my title was Community Impact and Communications Associate. So I worked in press releases, social media, website, but also in the allocations process and getting the funds out into the community, working with volunteers, working with the agencies on that front. My parents live an hour from here, so we take 15 through town to get to them. And every time we drove through town, you know, we'd always be like, this is really nice. This is really cute. So we started doing a little bit more research about the town. And we took some time, you know, just an hour here, an hour there to kind of explore, saw downtown a little bit, and just everything we learned really fit. So stumbled upon the opening here. Funny enough, I was helping my sister look for a different job. Stumbled upon this opening and had to go for it.
Okay. What did you find appealing about New Ulm?
It was a lot of different things. I have a German heritage, so that part appealed to me. My husband's a big fan of German food, so that appealed to him. But also just the size, the feel, the community aspect. You walk into a building and 5 different people say hi to you, and I love that. I love just I don't know if there's a better way of just saying the community feel, and that's really something I was looking for when we were figuring out where we were going to settle down and start a family.
Great. Now, tell us a little bit more about what skills you think you bring to this job.
Sure. So I have degrees in both mass communications and business administration, and something like this really lets me use both. So I have skills in marketing, and I have, I know about United Way. I know the lingo, and I know how to speak it, and I really believe in what United Way stands for, working in health, education, financial stability as the foundation of a strong community just really speaks to me personally. So bringing that knowledge with me. And, every United Way does things a little differently. So if there's anything that I used to do that I can bring here to help further our mission, all the better.
Can you just rattle off the mission of the United Way of Brown County area?
Sure.
I know you haven't memorized it yet.
I haven't, so I have my little post-it here. We work to be a collaborative community resource dedicated to identifying, uniting, and responding to the health, education, and financial stability of every person in Brown County. And we really are Brown County. It's not just New Ulm. We cover the whole county.
And now, we talked earlier, you are the executive director. Who else is the paid staff? How much paid staff is there?
Yes, so I have a coworker. Her name is Sarah, and she has been absolutely phenomenal in helping with this transition and helping me learn about the community.
Great. And you have a board of directors, right?
I do, yes.
And it's a big one.
Yes, yeah. We have about 20 people, which is good because we have subcommittees within the boards. And that means that everyone can sign up for something, and it's not a lot of people it's not a little bit of people trying to do a lot.
Great, that's great. Tell us a little bit about the programs that the United Way supports?
Yes, so internally, we have programs like the Free Tax Preparation Program or the Imagination Library Program, which I don't know if you're familiar, but that actually—
Tell us about that.
Yes, it gets books into the hands of kids ages 0 to 5. And it's a free program that parents can sign their kids up for, and it basically, it gets books into their hands, and it encourages that early childhood development and that early learning. We also have our youth activity scholarships and Project Lunchbox, which, I'm sorry, yep.
Oh, stop at the youth activity scholarships. Can you tell me how that program works?
Yep, so it's scholarships awarded to kids in Brown County to help with those, maybe those after-school programs. Kids who maybe want to play basketball or just for kicks, for example.
And those can be expensive.
They can,
They can
yes.
be very expensive. Okay. And all right, now I interrupted you. We've got imagination.
Yep. We also do Project Lunchbox,
Okay.
Which gets weekend meals packed together to kids who may be food insecure. So getting them that food for the weekends when they're not in school.
Okay. All right. So there's a real focus on children.
So our youth programs are run internally, but we
Okay.
do have programs that we fund, fund externally through other agencies.
Okay. So when you say internally, those are things that you and your board, this is what you do.
Yes,
All right.
yes, but there are also funds that we allocate into the community. So one of our focuses enriching the lives of seniors. Okay. So United Way really does, 0 to 100. It is all ages. It's not just youth.
Okay. So let's go talk about the agencies that the United Way supports.
Yeah. So we fund about 24 different programs last year. And like I said, it was everything from basic needs and emergency services, health and wellness, enriching lives of seniors, nurturing children and youth, and building that self-sufficiency, which is where that financial stability component comes into play. We work with programs like MRCI, the American Red Cross, of course, and Girl Scouts, Numa House, the Salvation Army, Habitat for Humanity, just to name a few.
Just to name a few.
The entire list can be found on our website.
Okay. All right. Well, then why don't you rattle off your website for people who are listening?
It's UnitedWayBrownCountyArea.org.
Okay. All right. And the history of the United Way has been in the area for quite some time.
We have been, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the exact history. I'm
No.
still learning a lot.
But you said you know the United Way lingo and think about
Yes.
the mission. Why don't you tell us about how you feel about the United Way, the broader United Way?
Sure. So the United Way's credo is United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. We work in Brown County. And really just, United Way proper started back in 18 something or other with, it was like a nun, 2 priests, and a rabbi, or it was kind of the start of a bad joke. And basically, it's an organization that brings people to the table to solve problems. At its core, that's what United Way does. We bring people to the table. We work together. Every United Way has a different focus because every community is different. What we did down in Sioux City, Iowa is different than what's being done here because the needs down there are different than the needs here. And that's what's so great about it, is it has the opportunity and the ability to pivot and to transition if something big comes up, if suddenly there's a huge need in early childhood development or in childcare, which we know that's a big need everywhere, then we would have the ability, because we work with businesses, we work with nonprofits, we can bring the people together and work to solve those issues.
Okay. Now, tell me a little bit about, I know you have a sort of a cycle, a yearly cycle, where you raise funds and allocate funds
Yes.
and do that sort of thing. Can you tell the people who are listening sort of how a year in the life of United Way works?
So right now we're in the middle of our campaign, which is basically our way of bringing dollars in. So we're working to raise money. I think we would like to see about $280,000 raised, which is a big number.
It's a big number.
And we're only at about 37% of that. So one of my goals coming in was to see that upped and to get those dollars in. So then we know how much we would have come springtime when our community investments process starts. So those open March, April. I'd have to double check the
Community
calendar.
investment projects process. Talk a little bit about that.
It's a fancy way of saying our allocations process.
Okay.
It's basically the process that we take to get the funds out into the community. And when the grant, we go through applications, we have a committee that reviews everything, that reviews the financials of the agencies to make sure that the agencies we're providing funds to aren't going to be gone in 3 months, that everything is on the level.
Okay, great. And I understand that just as soon as you arrived, you've been here for about a month, right?
Just shy of, yep.
Right? One of the first things you did was help with a new cat production of the United Way, right?
Yes, I was my very first day. We had a recording of Living United. I wasn't here. I was sitting back there. But yes, Living United airs Saturdays at 3:30.
On New Cat,
On New Cat, yes,
on New Cat.
absolutely.
And I know you've only seen one or two, but tell us about, if a person tunes into Living United, what they can expect to see.
They can see a lot of different things. A lot of times it'll be something like this. We will be talking with one of the agencies that we work with about a program that they support. Sometimes we'll be talking about programs that we run internally, like our free tax program. Tax season is coming up, so we'll be talking about that here soon.
Okay, great. I know you've only been here a month, but have you set any personal goals that you hope to achieve as you grow in this job?
I have a lot of ideas.
Okay.
I really do. My first goal is to immerse myself in the community and get on a personal level with business leaders and community leaders and learn about the needs of the community and do that research and look at the data to make sure that there's no gaps that are being missed, or make sure that maybe we're filling those gaps and see which direction we can go. The organization went through some strategic planning last year, so I have a guideline, and to implement some of those is also a goal of mine.
And you work with a board?
Yes.
You don't have to tell us the names of the people on the board, but what type of people do you look for who might want to help out the United Way by serving on the board?
I mean, bottom line, they have to be passionate about the organization and be a good advocate for us. They have to want to be involved and really immerse yourself in what United Way is and really believe in our organization is what I look for. And we have a great board, and so far, I've been able to meet with some of them and have discussions, and it's been really great, and I'm really excited about what the future holds.
Oh, well, I am too. I am too. Is there anything else that people need to know about you?
About me personally? I think we pretty much covered it.
All right. Well, I really appreciate the fact that you are excited to be here. And I'm sure anyone who sees this will be excited that you are the new Executive Director of the United Way of Brown County Area, Morgan Harpena.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Right. Good. Great.